Well, there was another shakeup in the Kansas City, Missouri school district this morning. This time, Superintendent Dr. John Covington and longtime school board member Arthur Benson calling it quits.
Now, while the school board didn't accept Covington's resignation last night and are hoping he might stay, Benson thinks it may be too late. In a strongly worded statement, Benson says, "I have some hope, but no realistic basis for believing that Dr. Covington can be persuaded to stay if Eric West resigns from the school board today." Sloan Heller is at the school board headquarters. Sloan, what are you hearing down there this morning?
Good morning, Lindsay. Well, I'm going to get to the teachers' union reaction in just a minute. But first, between yesterday and this morning, we've been talking to a lot of people within the school system, really. And the word on the street is these tensions between Covington and at least one school board member have been going on for quite some time. This is not new, is what they're saying. And this disagreement that you referred to in that statement between the school board president and Covington over an $85 million contract, that disagreement, they're saying, is kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. Now, getting back to the teachers union here, the president said basically her members were shocked by what they learned last night, the announcement of Covington's resignation, but they're also kind of mixed on his departure. We all know that Covington made a lot of people very angry with his decisions, his right-sizing plan to close half of the schools, but at the same time, again, this timing, the president of the teachers union said, is making this all the more difficult. As we know, this is just the beginning of the school year.
I think one of the things that's happened the last 2 years is people have taken a second look at this district, and even though they know we're struggling, they felt that we were really trying to move in the right direction, that there was some things that we'd made some good improvements, and then once again, whenever you have a new superintendent, then it's almost like starting over.
Now, we did hear from a spokesperson from Kansas City, Missouri School District that Covington thanked his staff this morning. There is a meeting set for the school board members at the school board at noon today. We understand Covington is not expected to be at that meeting. He's also expected to be leaving his post in 30 days. We're live this morning in Kansas City. Sloan Heller, NBC Action News.
All right, Sloan, thank you. Well, the mayor's office plans to meet with school board president Eric Leonard West today to discuss the district's next step. But we caught up with Mayor James this morning, and he said he was stunned Covington resigned. But right now, he wants to focus on the kids.
We need to calm down, because what we do will be translated to the children, and if we act like everything is hopeless, they'll begin to feel that way, and we simply can't afford that.
You can find more of the mayor's comments on Covington's resignation on NBCActionNews.com. Look under News and then Education. Our team coverage of Dr. Covington's resignation continues with Jiao Jiao Shen. She's live in the 1200 block of McGee with more. Jiao Jiao.
Yeah, Lindsay, we understand that the school board has called an emergency meeting at noon here at district headquarters, so it's going to get underway here in about half an hour. We know this is a closed meeting, so we won't be able to be in there, but we have heard reports that there may be a news conference immediately following, and that's when we're really hoping to get a lot of our questions answered. Of course, so many more questions than answers at this point. A lot of people wondering what is going to happen from here, and one of those questions is whether the state of Missouri is going to have to come in and take over the Kansas City, Missouri School District. I had an opportunity this morning to talk with State Senator Jolie Justice about that. Here's what she told me.
We've been able to fight off any attacks on the governance of the school board, the structure of the school board, or state takeover based on the fact that we're making so many positive strides. But if that era has come to an end, we may have a real battle on our hands.
And Senator Justice, of course, bringing up the fact that St. Louis is under state control right now, and there are concerns of whether or not that is the right step, whether St. Louis is making the strides that it needs to under a state takeover, and that certainly is a question here. And she says whether or not the state will take over KCMSD schools, that's something that's going to have to come up when the legislature meets again in January. So still, the rest of this first semester of the school year for Kansas City, Missouri students, they are going to be missing that leadership and a superintendent. Now, there are a lot of people out here today. You see here at the Board of Education, a lot of media covering this big story of the day. Russ Potasic is back there as well. You know that we're going to have you covered on this story, Dr. Covington's resignation, and we're going to try to get a lot of your questions answered here today. So be sure to stay with us. We'll have the latest for you coming up tonight on NBC Action News at 5 and 6. For now, reporting live in downtown Kansas City, Missouri, Jiao Jiao Shen, NBC Action News.